Welcome to the Clippers Live post-game show presented by Nissan. The Clippers fall in the Big Easy. Their 4-game win streak is snapped. The final score in New Orleans, 120 to 103. Well, guys, of course, we know the Clippers are playing shorthanded. They had won 4 in a row, but 2 games in New Orleans, 2 blowout losses. But it seemed like maybe the turnovers were the issue in this one. What did it look like to you, Corey?
You know, it was just they didn't seem like they were in the right mindset just playing this game early on. You said it, from the turnovers, the way the ball movement, not shooting the ball well. And there will be times when you miss shots. And you live by the shot, you die by the shot. But one thing that you can always bring is the energy and the toughness. And tonight they just didn't have it. I felt like the Pelicans kind of overpowered them, and they started to let, multiple guys on their team get off and make some plays.
We've been talking about the Clippers missing the Lakers in the first round of the playoffs. Let's hope they don't get the Pelicans either, as it turns out. I don't know what it is. It seems like the energy level both times against the Pelicans wasn't there. Ty Lue's talked about the physicality. I didn't really notice that, but I think the defensive pressure of the Pelicans and turning the Clippers over was a big part of the reason that the Pelicans won this game so easily. So interesting, though, that we talk about matchups. Obviously, this isn't a great matchup for the Clippers because, Corey, they've been winning games down some guys, but both games against this New Orleans team were not good.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen the Clippers lose a game like this. They've lost one in New Orleans. We saw the 3-point shooting also was off tonight, but 21 points off those turnovers. So, yeah, Don, you talk about the pressure they put on them defensively, but also a ton of pressure being applied by one Zion Williamson, who had 23 in this game, Don.
It's unbelievable to watch him. You know it's coming. You know he's coming right at you with the dribble, and he's either going to spin or just elevate, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. It's in the scouting report. Most guys, great offensive players, they're tough to deal with because they can shoot, so you got to get up, and then they drive it past you. You know this guy's posting to drive to score, or he's just isoing at the short 17. But look at that. I mean, Batum knows that's coming, and he still can't because, Corey, he is so strong. Defenders bounce off him, and he elevates at the rim, and nobody can get to that release point because he jumps so high.
Hey, Don, that was one of the things that I would say, the way players bounce off Zion Williamson. When he drives to the basket, if you see other players in the league, they're falling on the floor, all these different reactions, the way they're moving. But when Zion goes to the basket, he's being bumped, and it's not like he's being bumped in the air. Usually when you get bumped in the air, something you're getting pushed off to one side or the other, but he continues to maintain the focus to the basket and finish all the time.
Contact does not bother him.
Doesn't bother him at all.
No, so strong, absorbing that contact. That brings us to tonight's CarMax Call Your Shot. Here's what it was for tonight. Zion Williamson is averaging 27 points per game this season. He will score less than that tonight.
He would have had that tonight. He was at the free throw line early on. I'm talking to Don, like if this guy continues to get to the foul line, he would probably have, over 27 points. But the Clippers did a great job of slowing him down somewhat, and he didn't make his free throws, and we kept him under today.
Yeah, I feel like we won, but we didn't.
Yeah.
Like, if the game was close, he would have for sure had 27. But how I've been going in the call your shot, I'll take the W any way I can get it.
Congrats on the win, Don. When the Clippers are shorthanded, as we've said all season, especially here in this second half when they're missing so many starters, you almost need a heroic effort from one Paul George. They weren't able to get that tonight, Corey, just 9 points from him. Why did he struggle shooting the ball tonight?
You know what? First of all, he started out in foul trouble. So when you're in foul trouble, it takes a lot of your momentum away. And then you try to reinsert him back in the game, and the rhythm of the game really wasn't there for him. And then he had to play in that third quarter that he twisted his ankle. So I'm hoping, for Paul George that he's healthy, that whatever was going on with the ankle, that he's fine. We saw Jason Powell working on it towards the bench. But, this guy's been phenomenal, Christina and Don, the way he's played, over the last 5 or 6 games, over 30-plus points. And you have nights like this. But this is what I'm talking about. This play right here, hopefully it's nothing serious, or the fact that it bothered that toe issue that he was having early on in the year.
That's the biggest concern. Look, the greatest players in the league don't play great every night. He didn't play great tonight, but hopefully there's no long-term effects of what we just saw and we're seeing right now that it's just a tweak and he'll be back.
Yeah, and he did come back in the game after that, but again, only played 25 minutes tonight and finished with 9 points. But they did get a great effort from one DeMarcus Cousins, who we will discuss coming up next in the show. The former Pelican, the big fella, fresh energy with the new contract, playing for the Clippers for the remainder of the season. More Clippers Live up next. Clippers Live is presented by Nissan. Choose Nissan today. For great offers on our most exciting lineup ever, shop nissanusa.com.
What we've seen back in the past of him scoring over 20 points a game, Don, but I just love that he's very, very tough and understands how to play that low position.
Not a great night for the Clippers, but I was just thinking, Corey, like, how about adding Rondo and Cousins to your playoff roster, which they've done? Like, how the dividends are going to get paid on those two guys once we get to the playoffs. And they did ramp up his minutes. I believe 22 minutes is the most he's played since he's been on the Clippers. And so you wonder if that's going to continue to escalate, or we're at where he's going to be that 20 to 25-minute range. But he really looked good tonight.
Yeah, he really looked good. Again, signed for the remainder of the season. No surprise there, as you brought up earlier. Of course, Donna, we expected that to happen, but Boogie kind of showing out tonight. Now, all 5 Pelicans starters were in double figures, but let's talk Brandon Ingram, because as we talked about earlier, kind of a quietly dominant season. What did he show you tonight, Don?
He's just gotten really good, Christina. Like, his all-around offensive game, like he checks a lot of boxes on the offensive end. He can shoot the three, he can pull up, he can mid-post and score. But that's the difference. Once he got really confident from behind the three-point line, Corey, that set up all the other stuff. He was good with the handle when he came into the league, like getting to spots and getting to the rim. But now that three ball adds another dimension to his offensive game. He's tough to deal with.
You know, one of the things that's special about Brandon Ingram, you said because of his length on the floor, I mean, he can get up and down from one side of the court to the other side, maybe in like 3 dribbles. And once he's at that half court, one attack, one jab step, he's at the basket. And that's the ability that Brandon Ingram brings to this team. And you said it, Don, to be able to continue consistently make a three-pointer just makes this a more dangerous team.
Yeah, this Pelicans team, young, talented, athletic. We saw a lot of that energy in tonight's game. What did Ty Lue think about tonight's game? We hear from the head coach coming up next as the Clippers fall to the Pelicans tonight in New Orleans. Clippers Live is brought to you by CarMax, official used car retailer of the LA Clippers, and by Sweet James, your accident